Hello students. So in this subject hydraulic engineering, today I will continue that fluid dynamics chapter. In the previous class we discussed about Venturi-meter, Bernoulli's theorem we discussed, application of Bernoulli's theorem that we discussed. Next is orifice meter. So in this class, I will finish this chapter, fluid dynamics. Here I will discuss orifice meter and Peter tube. Then the impulse momentum equation that we will discuss. First is the orifice meter. Like Venturi-meter, this is also a device which is used to measure the rate of discharge in a pipe flow. It is used only in liquid flow, not in gas flow. In liquid flow, in a pipe, the discharge can be measured using orifice meter. Unlike in Venturi-meter, in which you can measure the discharge in both liquid and gas flow. This is the orifice meter. It is just a flat circular. It is circular, sharp-edged pipe. Circular sharp-edged pipe. It is inserted in the pipe, and there will be contraction of flow. This is the flow in this direction. So in the here there will be flow. Here there will be little rotation due to boundary layer theory. Here there will be flow will be like this. And just at some distance near this circular plate, somewhere here, there will be contraction of flow area. The contraction of flow area will occur just away from this edge. That contraction is called vena contracta. This contraction is vena contracta. The manometer is fixed at some point in the pipe at one end of a manometer, and another end is connected with the vena contracta at this point. So velocity is measured here at vena contracta, and velocity at the V1 here, this velocity can be measured. The pipe velocity can be measured and the discharge can be measured. The difference of pressure head can be obtained from this manometer. Here, this is the Y, the difference of level. And like we discussed in the Venturi-meter, this, if level difference we know, then we can measure the pressure difference, which is equal to that we discussed in the last class. That is Y whole into rho of or specific gravity of heavier liquid divided by specific gravity of pipe liquid if the manometric liquid is heavier, -1. The H, that is the difference of pressure head between this 2.1 and this 2, is Y whole into SH divided by SP. That is, SH means the specific gravity of heavier liquid, means the manometric liquid, if the manometric liquid is heavier than the pipe liquid, divided by pipe liquid specific gravity -1. If manometric liquid is lighter than the pipe liquid, then this will be Y whole into 1 minus this specific gravity of this lighter liquid, that is manometric liquid, that is divided by specific gravity of pipe liquid. So this orifice diameter, this diameter is 0.4 to 0.8 times the pipe diameter. The X1, it is placed at a position where the X1 means the distance from the point, this point 1, where manometer point is fixed. This x1 is varies from 1.5 to 2 times pipe dia, and the x2, that is the distance from the vena contracta, is pipe dia divided by 2. A naught is the area of the orifice, means here A naught is the area of the orifice. A1, A2 is the area of the pipe at section 1 and section 2, here and here. B1 and B2 the velocity of pipe at section 1 and 2, P1, P2 is the pressure at the section 1 and 2. So this is the orifice area, this is the area of vena contracta, that is A2, A1 is the pipe area. Applying Bernoulli's equation between section 1 and section 2, between this section and vena contracta section, P1 by rho g divided by P1 by rho g plus V1 square by 2g plus Z1 is equal to P2 by rho g plus V2 square by 2g plus Z2. This is unit weight of water, that is rho g. So this I can write P1 by rho g plus Z1 is minus of P2 by rho g plus Z2 is equal to B2 square minus B1 square by 2g. This is nothing but the pressure difference. The difference between the pressure head and the datum head, means the difference of the head, total head, is B2 square minus by 2g minus B1 square by 2g. From here we can get B2 is equal to square root of 2gh plus B1 square. So here if we use coefficient of contraction means the A2 divided by A naught, that is vena contracta area divided by the orifice area. This area, this cross-sectional area divided by this cross-sectional area. That is called A2 by A naught. So if we put this A2 in place of A2, A naught ACC, and using continuity equation, that is A1 B1 is equal to A2 B2, we can get using this equation, if we put, then we will get V2 is equal to square root of 2gh divided by square root of 1 minus A naught by A1 whole square CC square. So once we got V2, then the discharge in the pipe can be measured. The discharge in the pipe will be A2 V2, which is equal to A naught CC V2. That is A2 is CC A naught CC. Okay, this is CC A naught, A2 is the CC A naught into V2, which is A naught CC into V2. If we write here, then we'll get A naught CC square root of 2gh divided by square root of 1 minus A naught by A1 square divided by into CC square. Putting value of this CC, this is the relationship between CC and CD, that is the coefficient of contraction and coefficient of discharge. This relationship is CC is equal to CD into square root of 1 minus A naught by A1 whole square into CC square divided by square root of 1 minus A naught by A1 whole square. So the discharge will be, if we put here the value of CC, then it will be CD into A naught A1 square root of 2gh divided by square root of A1 square minus A naught square. This CD is the coefficient of discharge for orifice meter, which is 0.6 to 0.76. For venturi meter, it will be 0.91 to 0.99. And CD of orifice, since here in CD there is in venturimeter there is converging part and diverging part, but here there is no converging or diverging. Suddenly there will be the reduction of area. There is suddenly a reduction of, means contraction of area, flow area. That's why the loss of energy is more here. In case of orifice meter, loss of energy is more. Therefore, the CD coefficient of discharge of orifice is less than coefficient of discharge of venturimeter. So it denotes that the venturimeter, if you measure using venturimeter, it will give you accurate result compared to orifice meter, because in venturimeter CD is varies from 0.91 to 0.99, whereas here it is varies from 0.6 to 0.76. Means the actual discharge, if we get actual discharge which is equal to CD into theoretical discharge. Okay, so here this is a theoretical discharge, this is the actual discharge. So bencherometry is comparatively better, comparatively gives accurate result than orifice meter. Next is Peter tube. This device is specially used to measure the velocity in a pipe flow. It works on the principle of conversion of kinetic energy into pressure energy. In this, in Peter tube, when this piezometric tube is inserted, it is L-shaped. When tube is inserted, and this piezometer is fixed to measure the pressure here at this point, pressure head. So if you apply the Bernoulli's equation between this point and this point, here what happened, due to this flow, the flow is in this direction. So here at the inlet of this tube, this Peter tube, here there will be stagnation of flow, means there will be stagnation of motion of the liquid. Means here the velocity is 0. That point is called stagnation point. Here velocity is 0. However, at this point in the pipe point here velocity is v. Here it is 0. Here what happened? All the kinetic energy converted into pressure energy. Kinetic energy, here kinetic energy, here pressure energy. So if we apply the Bernoulli's equation between these 2 points, here it will be P naught by W, means rho g plus B square by 2g. At this point there is some pressure and kinetic head, that is B square by 2g. Here there is no kinetic head, which is 0, only pressure head. That is the HS is the pressure head at stagnation point, which is PS by W, that is PS by rho g. So here P naught by rho W plus V square by 2g is equal to PS by W, that is means at this stagnation point, this is that 5 point. So here this is H naught, this is H naught, this is V square by 2g, this is HS, that is stagnation head, means head at the stagnation point. So B will be 2g whole into HS minus H naught into square root of. So if we simplify, we will get velocity is equal to square root of 2g delta H, whereas delta H is the pressure head difference between this pipe and this pipe point and this stagnation point. Means pipe point means the point in the pipe here. Okay, I from that stagnation point. Okay. So for real fluid, since there is wind loss, we have not considered. We have assumed that the fluid is ideal, but the fluid which I have seen in real, that is called real fluid, which is different from ideal fluid. So there will be some loss. So the P actual will be CB square root of 2g delta H. This is theoretical velocity, but the actual velocity will be little less than the theoretical velocity. Let's say this CB, that is the coefficient of velocity, is multiplied with this actual with this theoretical velocity, and that CB is called coefficient of velocity per Peter tube. So this is about application of Bernoulli's equation. So we discussed bencherometer, orifice meter, Peter tube. Next is conservation of momentum. Means momentum principle, that's called momentum principle, means the sum of momentum is 0. The momentum is conserved. The momentum, total momentum, sum of total momentum in is equal to sum of total momentum out. So inside the system, so the momentum of an isolated system is constant. Vector sum of momentum of all the objects of a system remains constant within the system. Means in a system, the momentum by all objects, the sum of momentum of all the objects remains constant. This principle gives the Newton's second law of motion, which says that the net force is the rate of change of momentum. This principle is based on this conservation of momentum, which is F mass into acceleration. That is rate of change of momentum, or this impulse. If F equal to this rate of change of momentum V2 minus 1, this is force. This is rate of change of momentum. This is rate of change of momentum. So Ft is the change in momentum. The Ft means impulse. So impulse force is change in momentum. mv2 minus mv1. So this conservation of momentum is applied in impact of free jet. If there will be a jet force acting on the plate on an object, then that force, that impact force, we can calculate using this conservation of momentum principle. So next comes to this application of momentum principle on impact of free jets. What is free jets? Free jets means the flow of fluid from a nozzle with a high velocity and kinetic energy. With the high energy and kinetic energy, let this is the 5 is a nozzle here. Due to sudden contraction here, contraction of this is the nozzle, contraction of the area, the velocity here is very high. Means kinetic energy very high. Compared to this here, this point and this point here, area is very less. If area is less, then velocity will be more according to continuity equation, because A1 V1 is equal to A2 V2. So free jets, the flow of fluid from a nozzle with high velocity and kinetic energy. This is called jet, means flow jet. The force exerted by a free jet on a stationary or a moving plate is estimated using conservation of momentum principle. If there is a jet here, a plate here, the impact of this free jet on this plate can be estimated. This plate can be stationary, can be moving, can be normal, means normal to this plate, jet, can be inclined. Okay, so next we'll discuss what is the force by the jet, means flow jet, on this plate. Let the plate is inclined at angle theta. From here we can calculate the means the force. If you can calculate the force here, you can also calculate the force if the plate is normal. Okay, so let's it's inclined, and this is the angle theta. It is theta angle with this jet. This is the jet. This is the pipe. This is the nozzle. This is the nozzle. Okay, here this is the jet. Free jet. Theta is the angle. Here discharge is the Q, and this depth is D. Okay, this free jet depth is D. So here there will be one force in x direction, that is in this direction, x direction, Fx, and there will be one force normal to this plate, that is Fn, normal to the plate, and there is one where there will be one force vertical, that is Fy, in vertical direction. So velocity in this direction will be V. In this direction will be, if this is theta, means this is theta, this is the V, this is B, this is theta, so this will be theta. If this is theta, if this is B, then this normal direction, it will be sin theta. There will be two components in this direction, in the tangential direction, means in this direction there will be V cos theta. In the tangential direction there will be V cos theta, and the normal direction there is V sin theta. So well, Fx, if Fx is this towards the in the direction of flow, and Fy is the perpendicular to the direction of flow, and the Fn is the normal to the plate, then this Fn is the rate of change of momentum. The net force is the rate of change of momentum. So rate of change of momentum is a rho a v, mass into velocity. So mass is rho a into v, mass per unit time, rho a v, density a v. A v is the q, you can say q, that is the discharge. This a v is the discharge, that is the discharge is the volume per unit time. So rho is the mass per volume. So if you multiply rho into q, it will give you mass per unit time. Rho q, it will give you mass per unit time. So mass per unit time into velocity, that is the rate of change of momentum. So velocity change in the normal direction, it is v sin theta. Since it is stationary plate, so change in velocity means final velocity is 0. So Fn will be rho a v square sin theta. And Fx, we can write it, but this is Fn and this is the theta. This Fx will be Fn sin theta. This component of Fn, the force normal to the plate, the component towards this direction of flow is Fn sin theta, which is rho a b square sin square theta. Similarly, Fy, which is in the normal direction, that is Fn cos theta. So which is Fn is the rho a b square sin theta into cos theta. Since this is a stationary plate and the velocity, the final velocity is 0, means displacement is 0. Okay, the plate is not moving, it is fixed. Here it is also fixed. It's a fixed plate, so work done will be 0. So the power will be 0. Okay. Now, if I apply the impulse momentum equation tangential to the plate, this impulse momentum equation means the net force is the rate of change of momentum if we apply in this direction. Okay, then we can write it rho q1b, means in this direction it is rho q1. Rho q1 is the mass per unit time into velocity, in this direction velocity, minus rho q2b, that is, here it is q2, in this direction, it is q1 in this direction, so it will be rho q1 q2 b is equal to, means minus rho q b cos theta, means in this direction velocity is b cos theta, so rho q b cos theta is equal to 0. So here if we simplify it, we will get q1 minus q2 minus q cos theta is 0, and q1 plus q2, that is the conservation of mass, q is equal to q1 plus q2. Okay, means this q is divided into two parts, q1 and q2. So if we apply this to, if we solve it, we'll get q1 by q2 is equal to 1 plus cos theta divided by 1 minus cos theta. So these equations, okay, fx, fy, and this q1 by q2, if we apply in a plate of which is normal to the jet, here this is the plate normal to this jet, so it is symmetrical, so there will be velocity b in this direction, velocity b in this direction, it is stationary, it is fixed. So in this case, so theta is 90 degree, this is theta, that is 90 degree. So if theta is 90 degree, if we apply the theta is 90 degree here in fx and phi, so fx will be rho a b square and fy is 0. q1, q2 will be 1. q1 by q2 will be 1, so q1 will be equal to, since it is symmetrical, so it will be q1 and q2 will be 7. Since the displacement is 0, so work done will be 0. Next case, if the plate is moving, plate is not stationary like here. See, plate is moving, then if plate is moving at velocity u, then we can write these all the equations, okay, same derivation, okay, but here only instead of this 0, whatever we have considered 0 here, this plate velocity 0 we have considered, here we have considered u. So here if we apply the plate velocity u instead of 0, it will be fx equal to rho a b minus u whole square divided into sin square theta, and fy will be rho a into b minus u whole square sin theta cos theta. The power, that is the work done per unit of time. Work done per unit time is the Fx into U. Means the Fx is the this is the Fx, that is the in the direction of the flow. Fx into U means velocity in this direction. Displacement in this direction. Displacement is U. That is the movement of the plate. That is the displacement. Okay, force is the mass into acceleration into velocity. Force velocity is distance per displacement per time. So force into displacement is work done. Work done per unit time is the power. Okay, next based on this impact of jet, we will solve one problem. Here 75 mm dia jet. The diameter of the jet is given. This diameter is given. Having velocity 30 meter per second, and it strikes the flat plate. Flat plate, the normal of which is inclined at 45 degree to axis of jet. Means normal is inclined to axis. Means this normal is this is the normal. It is inclined 45 degree to this axis of flow, axis of jet. It means if this is theta 45, so this will be 45 because this is normal. Okay, like here this is the normal. Here this is given 45, so this will be obviously 45. So this theta, what we have considered, the theta is 45. Find normal pressure on the plate when plate is stationary. One case. Another case, when plate is moving with velocity 15 meter per second in the direction of jet, away from the jet. So when plate is stationary, we have to apply this equation. This equation Fx and Fy, rho ab square sin square theta, rho ab square sin theta cos theta. Also find power and efficiency, eta. This is eta, that is efficiency when jet is moving. Diameter is given, so area we can calculate pi by 4d square. Theta is 45 degree. So in the first case, when plate is stationary, the normal force, it is asking find normal pressure, the Fn. Fn is rho a b square sin theta, that already we derived, rho a b square sin theta. So rho is the 1000 kg per meter cube. Area, that already we calculated here, this one, okay, into 30 square, 30 is the velocity of the jet, into sin 45 degree. It will give you 2811.6 Newton. In second bit, when plate is moving, Fn is rho a b minus u whole square sin theta. Same formula, only instead of b you have to write b minus u. So rho is 1000, a is already calculated here, b minus u, that is 30 minus 15 whole square sin 45, equal to this. So power is work done per time, which is Fx into u, Fn sin theta into u. Okay, means Fx is the Fn sin theta into u, that we discussed here. Fn sin theta, Fx is Fn sin theta. This one. Once Fn we calculated, then Fn sin theta we can write, or we can write a rho a b square sin square theta. Fn sin theta into u means power means work done per time, that is the force into velocity, and that force will be the direction of the displacement, and the displacement will be direction of the force. If the Fx in this direction we have considered, in this direction we have considered, in this direction the velocity is u, Fx is Fn sin theta. So if you apply Fn sin theta and u, that is 15, then we will get 7.455 kilowatt. So efficiency here, that the work done on the plate divided by the energy is supplied by the jet, kinetic energy supplied by the jet. So this we can calculate this work done by on the plate, that is already here we can calculate by the kinetic energy by supplied by the half mv square, that is the velocity 30 meter per second, half mv square kinetic energy supplied, The work done here we have calculated, work done. Okay, like from this we can calculate the efficiency. Thank you so much.